Hey there, I made headphones with an integrated CD player, and today I'm going to show you how it works, how I made it, and how it sounds. So the thing that makes these headphones different than other headphones, you've probably guessed, it has an integrated CD player. It also has a fully multifunction remote control, integrated battery in the back, storage for about 10 CDs on the sides. It has a jewel box compartment. It has an LCD display with a control module on the top, 110 millimeter ear pads, a 2-inch suspension strap, fully adjustable suspension strap on the top for comfort, aluminum reinforced slots where the suspension strap goes in. It's got, of course, my logo on the top and on the sides. It has a felt lined area as to not damage the CDs that you put onto the spindles. And all in all, I'd say it's pretty badass. It has no external wiring. You can just walk down the street and take your music with you on the go. But let's talk more about the sound and the build and how I came up with the idea. Originally, I came up with an idea for a headphone that could play cassettes. Hold on, let me go grab that. So this is kind of an early inspiration. As you can see, there's a built-in cassette player on the side, storage for one tape case, which you can take the tape out there. But the problem with this is all these wires. It works pretty good. Actually, one of the problems with this is you can hear the sound of the tape player playing on the side as the little wheels are turning. And we have a similar issue with the CD player headphones. But anyway, with this, one thing I wanted to do is I wanted to hide the wires. I could probably do a better job hiding them, but as you can see, the wires come out of this hole here and go down into the ear cups where the wire jacks are actually facing up. Normally on headphones, they'd be facing down. Also, you'll notice these strange shapes on top. The thing that these boxes are holding is a ton of wiring. There's wiring from the battery to the control module. There's wiring from the control module to the CD player, and of course there's wiring out to the headphones. So there's just a lot of bundles of wires up in here. I wanted to hide the wires as much as I could and add a little bit of flair on the design. You can see these sort of little fins here that I thought would add some look and some strength to the design. It's funny, this CD slides in here perfectly fine right now. The first version of this headphone that I made, the slot was too small, and it was very annoying because I built this whole thing. I could not squeeze a jewel box in there without breaking it, so I had to take apart the whole thing and build it again. Another thing I wanted to do with this headphone was I like the look of these exposed screws. I use green screws for a lot of my work, but I don't use these standoffs, which they're basically a screw coupler, so I can put a screw in the bottom and the top and sort of cinch everything down. A lot of the standoffs got pretty scratched up because of course I used pliers without any soft tip, on them, because I just wanted to get this thing done. For battery power, I needed a 5-volt battery. I could have used a small battery, the kind that's inside your other devices like your phone and stuff that aren't sticking out like this, but I happen to have this power bank. Well, the power bank puts out 5 volts, so here we go. And the control unit that powers the CD player happens to have a USB plug. When I first got the CD player, I plugged it into this power bank battery and crossed my fingers, and it worked. The CD player itself is a car CD player that I got from Amazon for adding to a slot in a car, or I guess on the center console, which is cool because that means it has pretty decent skip protection. So when you're wearing this headphone and you're walking around, it doesn't skip. The reason I chose a car CD player is I really wanted it to do this front loading thing. I thought this would be the most interesting. Now it's not going in. Did I unplug it? Did I break it? Oh. Now it's back on. I think the battery became unplugged. But anyway, you put the CD right in here. There, of course, are portable CD players that open from the top, and there are like CD-ROMs for computers. It's funny to point to my head and do it, but that have the tray that come out. But I really wanted the front-loading mechanical slot version of inserting a CD. Now, there's also a remote control. The CD player came with a remote control, and at first I thought I wouldn't need it because we have this control panel on top that has play button and a forward and a back button. But a sort of good thing happened with the CD player, which is that the line out on the CD player is variable with volume, and it is powerful enough to power headphones. So I did not need to add an amplifier module or an external amplifier to this headphone, because that would have just been, well, I guess that would have been okay. It would have been more stuff attached to this, but didn't need it. So you actually have to use the volume on the remote to change the volume of the headphone. So when you put in a CD, it actually auto plays at first, and it plays pretty loudly. So you have to actually take the remote out, point the remote at the top of your head, you can see there, and turn it down. Also, the CD player does this funny thing where when you put a CD in, it goes music, which is just, I guess, a feature of the CD player. The sound is actually terrible. Well, it just played really loud, so I'm gonna mute it right now. So the sound of these headphones, I need to fix, and I think I'm going to fix by actually adding an amplifier, a headphone amplifier module to the headphones. I think there's something going on with the line out. Originally, I thought it was my ear cup design, so I actually drilled small holes in the bottom to increase. Well, the problem is that the headphones don't have any bass. Oh, and the ear pad just came off, and you can see some of my damping material in here. So I've done a lot to try to tune these headphones and make them sound good, because my other headphones sound pretty good. So I was working on these, and I just could not get them to sound good, and it made me decide that the problem is the source, not the tuning. I threw everything I had at this. In fact, if you look on the inside, you can see there's damping material inside here, polyfill. I experimented with that. I experimented with 2 sheets of this foam that's in the ear pad. I drilled holes in the bottom of the ear cup, if you can see that little hole there, which sometimes increases the bass. I threw everything I had at this, and no matter what I threw at it, I couldn't get bass. Then it occurred to me that this remote control has this purple EQ button. I tried the EQ, and what it does is it flips through a few different EQ presets. Some of them have more bass than others, but I could not get it to sound good. The line out might not have any bass. I don't know, or maybe it is the headphones. So something I would do in a new version of this is I might actually include an amplifier module of some sort, maybe even a parametric EQ or some kind of EQ in the headphone. One thing that is cool about these are these CD spindles. So I built these, and if you take a look here, this is a little screw that you can just sort of all the CDs fell off. I have this laser cut disc with my logo on it, and I put an adhesive foam on the back to protect the CDs, and then you'll also see in here, there's a synthetic felt that I've attached to this. These are my wife's old CDs from her childhood, and I didn't want to mess them up. So I put all of this protection to keep them safe. I also printed this little nub on the 3D printer in such an orientation that it's very strong. So the layer lines are going the direction of the CD, so they won't break off. Let me put this all back together. So there are the CD player headphones. I call them Deez. Oh man, the ear pad keeps coming off. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit like, and I'll see you in the next video.